Hello. So, welcome to the monthly Where Are You in the Revolution reading check-in. Um, these are meant to be pick a cards, but yeah, that these are meant to be pick a cards. I was supposed to do one for December. It's January 1st. Happy New Year. But I kind of got distracted and I didn't do one for December. So instead, we're going to do one now and we're just going to call it even. And then we'll do one at the end of January and that will be for January. So it's not really about, months. It's just about periodic check-ins. We're doing it about monthly, which we can consider every 30 days or so. So I'm a little late, but it's okay. I'm just going to pull a bunch of cards, and those will be the cards that we use for our reading in terms of which card you're going to pick for your pile. So we've got the King of Pentacles, we've got the Queen of Cups. What's another card for another pile, Spirit? We got the Page of Wands, who's been coming out a lot. She's been coming out a lot. Who else do we have, Spirit? Last time when I tried to do this a couple of days ago, we've got the Nine of Swords and I was interrupted, so I couldn't finish the reading. So that's why we're doing it now again. I did actually already start on that reading, so I wonder if that message will come through again. The Hanged Man, the Ace of Cups. Last time we had 5 piles, now we have 4. I don't know if we should stick with that. I'm going to shuffle 10 times and see if any more cards come out. Okay, Spirit. 10 more shuffles. So this is 1. This is 2. This is... Oh, today we're going to be working with my soul. And my higher self, my inner self. Oh. 3. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ooh, and, 10. Okay, so we have, okay, quite a few piles today. Back of the deck energy, just us. That's quite a few piles, actually. High Priestess. How many piles is that? 8 piles. Okay, we'll do it. So for today, there's 8 different piles. So I'm not exactly sure if we're about to be doing how long these readings are going to be, because it's giving that's a lot of piles. Anyways, so starting with the King of Pentacles. I might have to do these in shifts. Anyways, starting with the King of Pentacles. If you resonate with the King of Pentacles here, pick this card, and this will be your Where Are We in the Revolution check-in. The King of Pentacles. Look at him, look at him, look at him. Take a good look. King of Pentacles. That's pile number 1. Pile number 2. Queen of Cups. Check her out. She's the Queen of Cups. She's been coming out a lot too. Pile 3. Page of Wands. She's the Page of Wands. She's fabulous. She's the Page of Wands. That's pile 3. Pile 4. Nine of Swords. Pile 4. Get a good look. Take a gander. Pile 4. Pile 5, pile 5, Judgment. Number 20, Judgment. Pile 5. Pile 6, 8 of Swords. Pile 6, 8 of Swords. Pile 6. That image is really standing out for me. Pile 7, High Priestess. Pile 7, High Priestess. Pile 7, High Priestess. And pile 8, Strength. Pile 8, strength, and it's also the number 8. Got 2 8s here, and 2 2s. Actually, 3 2s, because you also have justice here at the back of the deck. Back of the deck energy being justice. Perhaps that's the overall energy of the reading this month, this check-in. It's all about justice. So we're going to start with pile 1, which would be the King of Pentacles, and we'll go from there. So yeah, you go where your pile is, and I'll see you there. Starting with pile 1, the King of Pentacles. And I believe in diamonds and tears for girls like me. Yeah. I don't want to use that deck. I feel it, I feel it, that your love is enough. Let me up. I feel it, I feel it. I am everywhere. Okay, where are you, my precious wandering tarot? Where is my wandering tarot girl? Uh-oh. Wandering star, where did you go? Wandering star. Where are the other ones? I don't know. I'll just deal with it. I'll take you with me. Yes?
Are you finding yourself coming down with a bit of a cold?
No. Okay. Ow! It's cold. So, I guess I could have a little bit of cold. Ah! Why are my earrings in here? Surprise! King of Pentacles. Okay. King of Pentacles. Let's get started with your reading. So, I was just going to say, not this. This is not the right. Okay. First of all, your deck is giving surprise energy because, first of all, you are already having cards that aren't in the right place. Like, I'm confused. I found my earrings in your deck. Let's figure out what's going on. So, higher self. Higher self. So, talk to me about the King of Pentacles. Where are they in the revolution? What is the King of Piles? King of Piles. The King of Pentacles pile. What is their message? The Chariot is the first one to come out. The Chariot. If your love is not... I just saw the Tower peek out, but she didn't fall out. Everywhere you are, I feel that the road has been long and the journey's been tough and the eyes are tired, but you're still on the go. You're trying to keep those eyes awake. You're trying to keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. 6 of Pentacles we have. Ooh, 2 of Pentacles and the Hangman. Hold on now. Lots and lots of purples, but more like a lilac. Feel like maybe you could be getting a little bit burnt out in your psychic energy. for 1. Could be a little bit hard to see clearly just because you've been so active for such a long time and having to kind of operate on 10 that you could be falling a little bit out of balance. You might need a bit of a reawakening. Yeah, you kind of feel like a little bit drained is what I'm feeling. Just a little bit drained. Maybe just a little bit too much go, go, go. Not even like go, 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 but just maybe a little bit too much work. Could be time to just take a chill pill for a second. You have the Hanged Man, the 6 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, the Fool, the 9 of Wands, and the Chariot. I just feel like things aren't as alive as they could be. And I just don't feel like you have as much spark as you could. Yeah, whenever I see the King of Wands in this deck, I always feel like it's kind of sickly. I feel like you could be pushing yourself a bit too hard. Or you could just kind of not really be in it. There's a bit of a detached energy, almost like you're not really there, you're not really here. And I'm not sure exactly where that comes from, but it kind of feels like you're pushing and you're working very hard on this path, but it doesn't feel like you're actually all that connected to it soul-wise. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of passion there. It feels like what is keeping you going is the fact that you would like to, like, this is work that you need to do, but because it's like your job or you're of service to something, but it feels like you kind of this droning on energy where you're just doing the work because you need to do it, because this is your act of service, but it doesn't feel like you're connected to this. It just feels like work that you are doing. Interesting. You might need to go on a bit of a soul-searching journey to figure out where there's a little bit more life. Because it's funny, I chose this deck because I didn't want to use the other deck because I felt that that other deck didn't have enough energy to it, and I wanted a little bit more life and color. But looking at this reading, I just feel drained of life. I feel like there's no liveliness to these cards. Nothing is speaking to me prominently. It feels like there is no, like, you know, really present energy, and it feels like there is a need for something that is a little bit more meaningful, like Page of Cups energy. And this deck is kind of what I think you could maybe use a little bit more of. You have the 2 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Perhaps there's a decision that needs to be made to go in a direction that speaks a little bit more to you. And just even discovering what you want, what makes you sing, what makes your heart scream. I kind of feel like you're not able to be who, in the position that you are currently in, you're not able to stand in the power that you would like to. It's funny because I actually get this energy of like someone who grew up maybe, like someone who's a hippie, but isn't actually like a flower running through the field, daisy kind of girl, and is actually more of the Queen of Swords, more of a businesswoman, more of someone who's a delegator, a leader, a boss. But you're in this position of being like the hippie and like, you know, just like a student and just going through life, and, you know, it feels like you are in a role that is less mature than you are. It feels like you are stuck in an immature position in your life that does not reflect how you feel about yourself and what you see for yourself. You have the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So you might need to do some work and go on a bit of journey in order to get to this position that you are looking for and that you're seeking out. Because I think that you're looking for a positioning in life that shows growth and that shows and that honors the work that you are willing to do, that honors your ambition and that honors your desire for like seriousness and like a serious standing. I think that you want to have weight to your actions. You want there to be weight behind your voice. And I think you're looking for work that shows your strength and that shows your leadership and shows that you are a hard worker and that you have clear thoughts and clear ambitions. I feel like you're kind of looking to climb the ladder and find success. But something that truly reflects your spirit of ambition is really what's popping out, and something that really honors your call, your calling. And it feels like there's a bit of a shadow around who you truly are. Yeah. I feel like you're not able to, I feel like the way that I feel like who you truly are is not able to be, there's like a lot of not confusion around it. There's a lot of, I don't know. It just feels a little like awkward or out of place in your current environment. Just like it feels like there's a lot of questions around it, and it's not sure if if it belongs. Feels like there's a question around belonging. Yeah, and I feel like part of it also has to do with finding people that are like you. I feel like you maybe are not in an environment that mirrors you, especially in like the people that you're around and in the work that you're doing. And I feel like there's a bit of an awakening, a judgment call happening here in terms of like, do you resonate with the work that you're doing? La 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 Okay, higher self. Why are you giving me two of wands again? Higher self. Is there anything else for the King of Pentacles? Where are they in the revolution? In this check-in. What does that have to do with the revolution? Yeah, what does this have to do with the revolution? What role are they playing right now? I definitely think that your palette's going to ultimately shift, because this doesn't feel like a place that you would like to stay. It feels like you are discovering that who you are inside, especially in terms of your ambition, how ambitious you are, is a lot more important to you than maybe you were allowing it to be before. Maybe there was just a bit of shame around being that way. Maybe you felt like you needed to be more like free love and like, more like, just connected to being a free spirit or something, or whatever like that stereotypically feels like. But your free spirit manifests through your creativity, I think, in business and in communication and in being a boss. I think that's where you feel like a free spirit. And I feel like there's a need to break out of a stereotypical understanding of what it means to be, just to be, like, you're not unattached. You're not careless. You're not someone who is willing to just be a student forever. You want to rise on the rankings. You want to have power, and you want to do something with that power. You have goals and you have dreams. And I think it's okay for you to acknowledge that. I think it's okay to acknowledge that you would like a little bit more of a say in the world that you would like a bigger voice, that you have dreams and desires and talents that you would like to take somewhere. I think it's okay for you to acknowledge that you would like to build something that is prosperous, that has a legacy, that is influential. It's okay to say that you want to influence others, that you want to be able to have a platform, to use your voice and to be powerful, and to be someone that people listen to and speak to with respect. It's okay to have those kinds of dreams. It's okay to dream of the sun, of being the sun, of being in the light, of being heard. And it's okay to dream of being successful. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a bit of it's like there's this like kind of like dark energy around it. Like there's like some type of shame, and like it could make you feel like weird or uncomfortable, kind of like Lilith in Capricorn energy. It can make you feel even like evil or just like dark and twisted, or like a witch or something bad, quote unquote bad. I don't think witches are bad, obviously, but it just feels like you've got this energy around it where there's like some shame, but there's nothing to be ashamed of, you know. And you're not power hungry, but you could maybe perceive yourself that way, and there's a need to, I think, switch that perspective around and kind of wake up to the strength in your vision. What does this know about? Because clearly you're supposed to take it somewhere. Clearly you're supposed to go somewhere with all this energy. And it's funny because where I'm actually finding that there's more life coming through is in this black-haired energy, this black color. The black is really standing out. It's really bold to me. And what's colorful and rainbow is more drab to me. And so it's like the thing that you could consider to be what might be considered as like too serious and like maybe boring in other people's eyes. That's where you find life. That's where you find, that's where you're going to find power and vitality and meaning in your life. And that's where you're going to find a spark, where you're going to catch a flame, where things are going to make sense for you. And so there's a need to not worry so much about how things are supposed to be, what you're supposed to find meaning in, what you're supposed to want to be like, and instead accept what you actually enjoy and how you actually are. I think there's a bit of a reckoning and a level of acceptance happening around accepting who you naturally are, who you naturally find yourself wanting to be. And maybe that differs from what you might have expected yourself to want, or maybe what's expected of you at this age, or just because of the way you are, or what field you're involved in. People could expect you to be a certain way, and maybe you're just not that way, and maybe quite different from that. And so that could be really confusing for yourself, your sense of self, really. I think this is mostly internal. But I think there's a need to not worry so much about things not fitting perfectly, or it feels like it's anxiety based. With the Seven of Swords again, like you're like dishonest in your environment, or like you're sticking out like a sore thumb. It just feels like you feel awkward in your body and in your skin, especially doing what you do. It feels like there's this weird feeling around belonging, but you do belong. You do belong. So I think that that's what's being confronted here. Yeah. Accepting that you're in this position for a reason. And maybe asking questions around why you feel uncomfortable in your skin, why you feel awkward in this position. That's where you are in the revolution right now. Reflecting on your positioning and why you deserve it, why you don't feel like you deserve it. Are you where you're meant to be? Are you being true to self? Yeah. And accepting the power that comes with your position. And accepting that you do it well. You wear power well. So wear it. So go after it. You know, not everybody seeks out power in the way that I'm talking about with this one. It feels like somebody who's like a businesswoman, or like a boss of a business, you know. Someone who's more so at the top the CEO, someone who's a decision maker. It feels like it's what you are leaning into, and you do that well. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And if you've carried any shame around that, you know, it's time to move past that, because I don't feel like you're meant to just be a knight. I don't feel like you're just meant to be someone who is working for someone else, for a higher rank, you know, in service to that. I feel like you've done that work. You've been of service, and I feel like you are now meant to be in more of a leadership position where you get to make decisions and you get to change the system and confront certain things, because I think that that's where you really thrive, and I think you know that. And I think that you would lead with compassion. I think you would be a great leader, and I think so it's time to take yourself seriously in that position. Why is the no card consistently coming out? Why is the no coming out? You could be facing internal rejection. You could feel like you would be rejected. What is it? You could feel weird about an offer that's coming towards you. You could feel sketchy about it. It could make you feel sick in one way or another. I'd say trust your judgment, but I also would say be careful to make sure that you're not judging this offer based off of personal insecurities around what you're capable of and what you can do. And personal insecurities around maybe the way this offer might change your environment, you know? Because it might lead you to a position where you end up being kind of in the dark and you don't know everything. And because you're also someone who is a great leader and is comfortable with power, you could also be someone who's a little bit uncomfortable with being in a new space where you don't know a lot. But in this place where you don't know a lot, it's also where you're going to end up reaching this level of success that you are looking for, that's more meaningful to you. So I think you should be open to that. You know, it's like beginning to walk towards your 10 of Pentacles energy, beginning to become the leader. But in order to be the leader and transition out of this space where you've always been of service, you have to be the leader for the first time. So there's a lot of unknowns, and it's scary, and you're vulnerable, and it might feel safer to just stay in service, because at least in service you already know all. You can be all-knowing. But I think it's kind of time for you to go on a different path, on a different journey into unknown territory. And yeah, shift away from what you've been doing, because it just doesn't feel like what you've been doing has been feeding your spirit. And there could be something coming that you might want to say no to, because it just feels like too much, or like you just can't make sense out of it, and it's like you can't see everything, and so you're like, no, you know. But I actually think it's probably a good opportunity. Yeah, and I feel like you've been harnessing your strength, and you've been awakening. I also feel like you've been dreaming about being in a power position. I feel like you've been dreaming about finding your personal power and wielding your power in a way that is beneficial not just to you, but to the world, and creating magic, to being in control, and being able to do something powerful with that control. The Knight of Cups continues to come out. There's definitely something, you have something to offer also perhaps to the world. You could fear that you're going to be rejected. You could fear that what you have to offer is not good enough, and that your vision is not good enough. But your vision is very solid, and your vision is divinely guided. Your vision is divinely prompted. Your vision is guided by intuition, and that intuition is strong. I think you should trust it. If you have something that you want to offer to the world, I think that you should offer it. I think you should not be afraid to see yourself in a higher position, or see yourself reflected in other people's eyes, have other people see you and hear you. I think it's time for you to share your vision. I think that it's time for you to share your vision and get out of, always being the one that's carrying the carriage along, but be the one that is now in the carriage, ready to go to the event and speak on stage. The person who's ready to communicate their ideas. I think you've got a lot to offer. And this could be a new prosperous beginning for you, especially financially, especially career-wise and in business. Yeah, I think that there's change coming for you if you are open to it. And I think you should be open to it and let yourself get into the position of, going up to the castle to take your claim, to take your stance, to mark your spot, secure your position. Star. I feel like your dream is sacred, and it's valuable and it's meaningful. And I think that you should see it as such. And I think that, sometimes we consider certain things to be saintly and other things to not be saintly and not be sacred and not be spiritual dreams. But anything can be a spiritual dream, no matter what it looks like. A business dream can be a spiritual endeavor. It can be a spiritual business. It can be meaningful. It can be connected to divinity. And I think that your dream and your work is saintly. And I think that you deserve to be in a position that fulfills your soul and that speaks to that spirit within you. And I think that that's exactly where you're heading. I think that that's where your dreams are trying to lead you towards. And it might cause you to get into a different kind of armor, to maybe dress in a different way, to maybe enter a different position in life, one that actually suits you more than where you're at right now or how you are right now. But it could be scary because you could feel like it's not where you belong, or like it's just not right, or like you have no right, but you have every right. And this is just right. Okay. I mean, that's really sweet. Yeah, we've got the King of Pentacles here, so you're here for your reading. I see a lot more life here when being spoken into you, when you are the one sitting in the power position, when it's not you always, on the go trying to make things work, but instead being the boss, being the delegator. Anything else, Spirit? The Devil. I think that your desires and your ambitions might scare you sometimes. They could scare you sometimes. You could feel like they're wicked. And like it's not godly or something. But I just think that you have something more to offer. I think you're heading towards big things. And I think it's okay to want that. It's okay to want the castle. It's okay to want to be the king. It's okay to want to be the queen. It's okay to not only just be satisfied with being the knight. It's okay to want more and to make your plea for more. I think you're going to throw your hat in the ring or make an offer for something more, seek out something more, go on a journey to gain more. And I think that is honorable. That's actually very honorable, and that's a sacred quest. You're meant to do this. You're not meant to just, suffer and be poor and never really achieve your dreams. You're not meant to live in hardship. It's okay for you to seek out more for yourself. You don't need to always be so humble and so meek. It's okay to want power. It's okay to want a position, a certain position in life. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. What is the final little message for the King of Pentacles? The King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Anything else? The Kings of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. Ogma, watch your words. I think that this could have to do something with communication. You could be speaking up. You could be saying something. And that could be putting you in a higher position. That could be leading you to gain a higher position. People could be listening to your words a lot. You could be communicating effortlessly with freedom, and that could be really opening you up to a new position. I think your words have power, and I think you should speak more freely, actually, because I think that you have a lot to say. Yeah, sweet success. This seems really good to me. It just seems like with an openness and a willingness to acknowledge that there's more on your mind and that there's more to say, that there's more to do, that you have thoughts, that you have opinions that you want to share, and that you perhaps see yourself as a leader in a certain conversation or a certain area of your life, and to want to do that, to actively seek that out instead of kind of shying away from it, and pretending as if you're just, a meek, humble servant, and that's all you want out of life, acknowledging that you want a little bit more and that you've got something to say. I think that that is going to bring you sweet success, and beautiful change to your life. Seeking out that life force energy. Okay, and that's where you are in the revolution. So that's what you're doing right now. Thank you so much, King of Pentacles. See you later. Okay. Moving on. Queen of Cups. We're moving on to you, Queen of Cups. Let's go. What are you guys talking about? The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. What is the Queen of Cups saying today? Okay, higher self. What is the Queen of Cups talking about? Ooh. What is the Queen of Cups talking about for the revolution? Where is the Queen of Cups pile in the revolution right now? Where are the Queen of Cups? What are they doing? What are they up to? What is going on with the Queen of Cups? Where are they in the revolution? Where are they in the revolution? Where is the Queen of Cups in the revolution? Whoa. We've got Death here. And the Three of Wands. Got the Knight of Wands and whatever that was. Nine of Swords. Three of Wands and Death. Alright. Oh, Death reversed. Definitely oh. Okay. The Tower card. Two of Wands, Chariot, Six of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, the Moon. Definitely walking away from something. Definitely a walking away from something. Moving on. Starting a new venture, starting a new path. There almost feels like a bit of a going back to the drawing board. Three of Cups. It kind of feels like a going back to the drawing board, starting again. Trying to make something new, and a bit of an experimental energy, and there's also a bit of inner child energy coming out here in terms of kind of allowing yourself to be back into the position of being fed, being taken care of, being nurtured, in spirit and by the world. Like, I feel like you're not trying to be the big boss man anymore. I think you're allowing yourself to be guided. I think you're allowing yourself to be taught and to learn and to receive, because I think that what you've been doing, or the work that you've been trying to do, what you've been trying to create on your own, or just with pure action and no guidance, I think just isn't really working. I think there's been a bit of a burnout or a fizzle out, or you just realize that something hasn't really amounted to what you were hoping it would. So I think there's a bit of a going back to the drawing board, recollecting your thoughts, your ideas, allowing your intuition to work for you instead of trying to make everything work on your own. And there's a lot of guidance here, allowing yourself to be guided, allowing yourself to be taught, allowing yourself to receive, and be nurtured and discover what works for you and what makes sense and what can be created for you. And this, I think, is actually very empowering. So there's a lot of expression energy, and there's also a lot of experimental energy, just trying things out. Just feels like you're in an energy of testing things out. and seeing where the cards lay. I just think that you're not so attached to a final outcome, or a specific outcome, a specific result, but instead just allowing things to be. And there's a lot more patience. It feels like you're a lot more patient than you were before. And I think it's because you've learned a lot of lessons. And you've realized that, the way that things were taking off, things were going in a direction that you just weren't resonating with, or just wasn't working. Things weren't working. Things weren't compatible. And so now you're like, okay, well, this time around, I'm just going to allow, the cards to lead me, my thoughts to lead me, instead of trying to do everything with my hands, with my bare hands, and do everything out of brute force. I feel like there's a lot more willingness to allow yourself to be creatively expressed and to creatively explore, and to be a little bit more open to different ways of discovering a path, or discovering how to build something, how to create something. Yeah, it feels like a little bit more of a feminine energy as well, just in terms of allowing yourself to be guided a little bit more. Okay. There could definitely be a new venture that you are going out on, but this does not feel like you are doing it with an energy of like, I'm taking on a new business venture. It feels like this is an energy of like, just exploring. You're just exploring, you're just creating, and not necessarily for creation's sake, but it's not as competitive, and it's not as serious. I feel there's not as much pressure around it. You're just seeing what's coming up. This could be like a bit of a laying the foundation, or like brainstorming. This could be like a bit of a brainstorming, or just trying things out. It's very experimental, is how this feels. Just seeing what can come, what is possible, what can be created. Testing out the potential is what this feels like. That's where you are in the revolution currently. Okay, so ultimately, Spirit, higher self, what does this mean for the Queen of Cups? What does this mean? Got the Three of Swords. There's also a bit of a recovery energy here. Like the things that you had shot down, ideas that you shot down, that you ignored, that you threw to the wayside, that you abandoned because they weren't good enough or you didn't want them. I think you're going back to those, or you're going to check up on those, or see if there's a way to repair those. I think that you're also reconsidering the way that you approach different topics, the way that you approach work, the way that you approach the things that feed you, the way that you approach your relationship with sustenance. I think that you're going from being like a bit of a predator to a collaborator, to a creator. Instead of going head to head with things, instead of things being a challenge, or instead of you being the aggressor and taking charge, I think you're kind of putting your bow down and trying to find a way to come into balance, into union with something, for it to be a bit of a more graceful act, for you to be a little bit more in flow instead of it having to be so brute. I think you want to come out of a bit of an animalistic nature and get into a bit of more of a fleshiness, a softness, more gentle, it feels like, is what you're trying to do. And something that is more artistic, more crafted, more artisan is what it feels like. And not so brute, not so brutish. Yeah, and I feel like there's definitely a return to the inner child, allowing things to be a lot more playful, and feeling comfortable allowing yourself to be led, and to feel your way through things, and to explore your way through things, instead of having to always know the rhythm, the beat, the answer. A little bit more freedom. And it can feel a little bit chaotic to you, and definitely out of sorts with what you're used to, but I think that this is for the best. There needs to be a bit of a mix-up in your energy anyways. Okay. And why is this, so what's the point? What is this leading the Queen of Cups to? What is this leading pile two towards? Higher self. What is this leading pile two towards? What is this leading pile two towards? I think self-discovery, and I think a fresh start and a new beginning, and a bit of a, I feel like the unknown darkness is coming into your energy, and I feel like it's going to be very relaxing and very relieving to kind of lose your sense of self. I think there's going to be, maybe there could be a bit of an ego death coming. An ego death, I think, could be coming. Judgment could be taking place. I think there could be a loss of what you've worked towards up until this point, but I think it's actually positive because I think that letting go process is going to leave a lot of empty space in your life, and I think that's exactly what you need, because I think up until then it's been a bit too congested with all of this hard work and this labor, but it just doesn't feel like it's amounted to much to you. It just feels like it's just been taxing, and what you have in your life that's been created from this brute force, from this labor, from this work, it feels like it just continues to be a reminder to you of, you know, this excessive pile on of energy, and something that takes from you and that doesn't actually mean much, doesn't build upward, but just kind of spreads like a disease. And I feel like you are ready to be like cleansed and cleared out and open space and kind of have the opportunity to discover what can be created just from like an empty house. What can be built, you know, what is within you, what is within your own darkness, and kind of finding the magic within that. Allowing yourself to become inspired through the emptiness, through the darkness, through the dark path. And I think you're ready to go on a bit of a journey and leave what you know, what you've gained behind for a little more life, a new kind of life. Okay. There's a lot of wisdom coming through here, gained through experience, gained through the conflict that you've lived in. It feels like you've been in a bit of a dog-eat-dog world and been in a bit of a rough, archaic world, and now it's time for you to experience something different. Yeah, now it's time for you to experience the softer, feminine freedom, something a little bit more in flow with a softer, more delicate nature, a more dreamy nature, a little bit less of the fight. It's like leaving corporate, but it's also like leaving, you know, a hunting life or something else. Either way, it just feels like you're bringing more magic, more softness, more dreamy potential energy into your life, where like it's possible for you to find hidden treasures, where it's possible for you to find sweetness, just energy with more possibility, energy with more sweetness. And this is energy that you can work with and you can create from a place of exploration where, you know, there's a lot of unknown, and the unknown is something that fascinates you, but not something that, you know, torments you. The unknown is something you have a comfortable relationship with, rather than it being something that you feel like you need to conquer. I feel like there's more of an acceptance coming, and a bit of a surrender just to the process, and recognizing how fun it is to just be on a path and go on a journey, instead of being in the same place just building this thing up, building a massive tower, building a massive amount of wealth that doesn't actually take you anywhere. Instead, there's a bit of a spiritual or creative vagabond energy that's leading you to just more magic in your life, and helping you become more in touch with the possibilities of where you can go, where you can be taken, where your soul can be taken, where you can be taken, where your creativity can be taken, where your creations and your ability to be a creator can be taken, when you're moved from a place of intuition and spirit. And definitely energy around the crown chakra as well. Justice at the back of the deck. And I just feel like you're also realizing that you are not inhibited in the ways that you thought you were. That there's more freedom to your life than you maybe previously thought. Anything else for pile 2 for the Queen of Cups? Any final messages for the Queen of Cups for pile 2? We've got Lilith, face your shadow. That feels right. Did we mention Lilith? And we have Kadesh, sexual wisdom, and Leah, stand your ground. All feminine energies, yeah. And Amaterasu, no more hiding. Yeah, all this feminine energy. Definitely feels like there's a bit of like, moving into the power of the feminine, discovering the power of the feminine. If you had always championed the masculine and thought that that was the way to move through the world and understand the world through that lens, I think you're discovering the power of the feminine. And with Lilith, face your shadow, I definitely feel like there's a bit of an awakening coming through. There could be a Kundalini energy rising within you. And just a recognition of more of the esoteric, more of the witch, more of the magician within you, more of the magic worker within you. There's definitely more of a spiritual energy, but more like a witchy kind of spiritual energy, or quote-unquote stereotypical spiritual energy, but just stereotypical in the way of like the traditions of spirituality, like could be more meaningful to you right now. So like the esoteric world, or like Tantra, or things like even like Buddhism, just like different like spiritual traditions and philosophies could be coming up right now that you could be exploring a little bit more. And just doing the work, doing humble work. It feels like you're more interested in doing humble work and finding the power in that, finding the meaning in that, and kind of enjoying your life, just kind of being of service to a more spiritual way right now, I think is where there's a lot coming through, and putting down the battle, but instead finding a way to move with the energy, flow with the energy, and take a stand for what naturally flows within you, not being ashamed of that. Okay, so that is your reading, Queen of Cups. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you later. Okay. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. So, you guys, where are you in the revolution right now? Page of Wands, where are you? Ooh, my foot. I've been sitting in the same position for 50 minutes. So, I've got to move. Sorry. The Page of Wands. Okay. Whoa, I wanted to say soulmate, but I was just saying soul. Okay, soul. Okay, higher self. Higher self, soul. Where is the Page of Wands in the revolution right now? What are they focused on? What is their thing? What are they doing? The Page of Wands. Where is the Page of Wands? Oh, in the revolution right now. What are they up to? What's going on with them? The Page of Wands. What are they representing right now in the revolution? What are they working on? Ooh. What are they doing right now? My foot. Okay. A little bit of... Ooh. Okay. So... Page of Wands. There could be a big focus on your personal life right now and how you feel in terms of your, like, just how you feel within your life. I just feel like there's a focus on your life right now. And wonder and questioning like where you are, how things are going, how you relate to your reality. You could feel kind of like out of sorts or kind of flipped on your head and kind of questioning whether like your intimate life and the life that you are living is like fulfilling, and just like whether this is like enough for you. There's just a focus on the personal, the intimate, your intimate world. I just feel like there's like a little bit of like wanting to leave home energy, and also like this is like an interesting, there's like a daughter energy here, but feeling just kind of lost within it all and not feeling particularly standout or particularly significant, and wanting to find a little bit more empowerment. There could feel like you could feel a little bit dependent on the favors or the kindness of others, or of a larger system, or of your home base or something else. And I feel like there's a desire for more of a focus on your life, your intimate life, and how that can become a little bit more independent and independently fulfilled, and how you can begin to kind of set yourself apart from your reality and stand out a little bit more, be a little bit more independent, and also just have a little bit more to say, have a little bit more to your character. I feel like there's like a desire for some more experiences, and maybe something to get you out of the house and out of this feeling of like being like sheltered, and get a little bit more fierceness to you, a little bit more of a wild energy, a little bit more life experience. Wow, the Knight of Cups continues to come out. It's like a popular card right now. It's also a bit of a waiting around energy. Like, I don't want to be like Cinderella, waiting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar, waiting for somebody to come and set me free. I don't necessarily feel like there's a huge, well, oh wow. Yeah, there could be when is my knight in shining armor gonna come and rescue me? But it doesn't necessarily feel like you're waiting for like an actual partner to come. More like, when are you going to rescue yourself? When are you going to get yourself out of this position? It's kind of like those are the questions that you're asking yourself right now. When am I going to, get bold, get brave, and figure out how to get myself out of this situation? When am I going to have the tools? When am I going to have the bravery, the armor, the guts to get out of this situation, move beyond this, and find more for myself? And it feels like there's a little bit of a wallowing energy, which is not being said with any type of judgment. That's just the way that it is, but just a bit of a wallowing energy, and like how insignificant you feel and insufficient you feel, like your life feels, and just feeling like there's just not really a whole lot going on, or just feeling like all the things that you do have going on just don't really amount to much. And I think there's a lot of like, I want more, and more desire for passion and for purpose. And I feel like there's a desire for you to like have a path that you are actively on, actively seeking out, and to feel like you are moving towards something, and that you have something to offer, and that there's more to you. and perhaps a bit of more respect and honor that comes with what you're doing. It feels like you feel like what you're doing right now is just, it's comfortable and it's sheltered away from a path that you maybe should be on, that is a little bit more adventurous, more spirited, and requires a little bit more of a will and requires more wisdom. It feels like there's a desire to make more out of yourself and out of your life, and to just offer more, contribute more, to not just be the dependent, daughter in the castle, but to be someone that is actively going out and experiencing the world and expressing and fighting for something and believes in something and has a cause and is trusted to take up, the protection of an idea or of a will. Feels like there's a desire to be attached to something or belong to somewhere, but it feels like you are trying to figure out what it is that you can belong within, that you can be attached to, that you can sign your name onto, that you can fight for, that you can seek out. And it just feels like you're not really finding that fulfillment. And so there's a little bit of feeling sad about that. And I feel like it could be confusing and conflicting, because your life could be fine. And there could be paths that you are pursuing and things that you are doing, but it just continues to kind of feel lackluster or be a bit of a disappointment, because it's not really adding up to anything that really means something to you. And you're looking for that thing that really pushes you to fight for something, pushes you to discover meaning. And I think that's just been a bit of a struggle to discover. Diamonds in yeah, I just think that you're looking for some passion, something that invigorates you, something that wakes you up, and maybe something that transitions you into a different version of yourself. I feel like you're waiting to be transformed. It's like the girl that's waiting to become a woman. Feels like waiting on that kind of energy. An energy that's something that just desires to be expressed. And I feel like they're also waiting, again, 9 of Cups, waiting for something where you can really desire to express yourself. There could be a desire, in terms of the 9 of Cups, there could be a desire for relationships. For a relationship, for something that is passionate, for something that, forces another part of you that you haven't seen before, that maybe you can't just have all on your own, but you have to share with somebody else, especially when it comes to expression. There could be a desire for more sexual expression and sexual empowerment, but through something that is not just a passionate affair that is meaningless, but something that where your heart is also engaged, your heart and your body, mind, soul, full engagement, something that you truly want to fight for, and something that would take you away from your current state of reality permanently, because it feels like you would like to join forces with something else, be on somebody else's team, sign your name on, and collaborate, come into union with. It feels like there's a huge focus on, not being alone anymore, not being, the sole person, not being the one that's just, and yeah, again, not being that, just the daughter locked away in the house, just the maiden. There's this energy of wanting to move into the mother position, which is the grown woman position, the lover position, wanting to have a partner, wanting to have a will, wanting to have a purpose, wanting to have something shared and expressed, and just not be so covered up and covered away. Feels like there's also wanting to be a little bit more exposed and naked and vulnerable with somebody else and something else, and just more, engaged with and wanting to be explored and explore someone else, and just wanting to be adorned, and be more in the earthly way, not so sheltered away, but Wow, again, the Knight of Cups. Feels like you want someone to come and take you out of your castle and seek you out and undress you and discover, the way that you bloom. I feel like you want to bloom. You want to get out of the turtleneck and into the lingerie. That is the energy. Just less covered up and just open up. I feel like there's something that wants to open up. But also it feels like you want something to fight for, but you want something that wants to fight for you as well, wants to seek you out as well. And clarify the Emperor. I think you're just tired of being alone. There's also that energy, no longer wanting to be alone. And you have something to offer, which is your love, and I think that that's super abundant and something that you consider to be a jewel to you. You have something that is precious to you that you are ready to give away. You are ready to share. You are ready to collaborate with and be in union with. But there's this energy of feeling like either nobody wants what you have to offer, or it's not good enough, or just like endless waiting around, and you're ready to be seen. It's what it feels like. I feel like you're ready for a change in your love life, and ready also just for more magic in your life as a whole, and more fun, more exploration. I think you're ready also to find somebody. You're ready to have somebody new enter your space, someone unfamiliar, but familiar on a soul level. I think you're ready to come into union, perhaps with a soulmate. Did I say soulmate for your pile? I feel like I said soulmate for your pile. Did I? At the very beginning? You might be looking for your soulmate, and ready for that to come in now, is what it feels like. And I feel like you have a lot to give, and you're more than willing to give, and you're also more than willing to receive. I just feel like you're like, I am ready. It just feels like you are ready. And it's like just trying to hoping and wishing and praying that the world and the universe and everyone can see that, and that your person is on their way, just hoping that they're on their way, and that hoping that you're going to receive, the justice you've been looking for. And it's not like you're just waiting to receive it. It's also like hoping and wishing and praying to receive guidance, so that if you need to go out and seek it, you're ready to do that overall. There's a total ready and willingness to do the work, to do whatever it takes, or to welcome somebody in, to be vulnerable. You're just ready. You're overall ready to commit, to do whatever, to have this change come in. You're ready. And it's kind of just like, well, when is it going to happen? And waiting on the signs, or waiting on the clarity, or waiting on the truth, or just waiting on more to come of this. Waiting to receive a little bit more. Because right now it just feels like you've got all that you would need to be fulfilled within you. It just needs to be put into action. It needs to be shared in order for it to reach true fulfillment. It's like if you're stuck at the 9 of Cups and you really are ready for that 10 of Cups. I haven't seen the 10 of Cups yet, but that's kind of this energy. You're ready for a shakeup. You're even ready for a tower moment, for something to come and knock down your walls. Whatever walls are left up, you would knock them down yourself if somebody gave you a bulldozer. But you're ready for that. You're ready for whatever, come what may. Wow, 7 of Swords again. I just think you're ready to face it. You're ready to face the music. You're ready to make plans. You're ready to tear up your plans. You're ready to go. Tell me when 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 to go. And then Swords. And I think it maybe causes a lot of distress that these things haven't happened yet. And also just wondering, like, is there something wrong with me? Am I good enough? Wondering when it's going to hit. I think it could also just be hard to be alone. It's just not something that you want anymore. And I think it's like almost like every night, it's like sleepless nights, wondering and waiting for this to finally, waiting for your time alone to come to an end, and for something more to show up. Just waiting and waiting quite patiently, but lots and lots of waiting for something more to come of all of this, for this to lead to something greater and bigger, more meaningful. And sometimes some anxiety around whether it'll ever happen, whether you'll ever find your match, or whether it'll all come to fruition. Tell me when to go. 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 Waiting on the signals. I feel like you're always also like constantly looking for signs or signals. Yeah, some type of divine message or clarity from spirit to be like, okay, like, is now the time? Are they coming now? And I think there could be disappointment quite often. Tell me when to go. Oh my goodness, my God. Okay, higher self. Okay, soul. So, why are you telling us this? What's the point? Is this just where they are right now? What's the point? Well, no music. I feel like your talents and your skills are going to bring in some type of good news and communication. I think that's literally the most plain and straightforward way, just to really take the words off of the page. It feels like the work that you are doing, your talents and your skills are going to bring in good news, are going to bring in change, are going to bring in communication, are going to bring in a messenger that is going to heighten your experience. Ooh, look at that. It's going to bring you that passion, that fire that you're looking for, and that also that elevation within your own standing. Ooh, whoa. I think you're going to be let loose. You're going to be cut free. Yeah, and you're going to be cut free from bondage in this waiting, in this sacrificial place where you're just like, is it ever going to happen? And I think it's going to happen through your talents. Wow. Through your creativity. And through figuring out a way to become financially, perhaps, into finding financial streams of income and making a little bit of money off of your odd skills, off of your quirky talents and your magical gifts. I feel like is a way that you are going to begin to elevate and be transformed and connected, perhaps to a partner. And it's through working to build business out of your skills and gain some money off of your talents and your skills. Maybe when it comes to communication specifically, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to saying what you have to say, expressing yourself perhaps. I feel like change is going to come when you transform and when you allow a little bit of a different aspect of yourself, maybe something that moves a little bit quicker within you, or something that is more of an alive spirit, sword energy, fast-moving energy. This change could also come in fast, could come in quickly. And it has to do with, like, I think not being the baby anymore and kind of allowing yourself to become a little bit more grown and take a little bit more power into your own hands and wield your tongue. Speak your truth and be the wild woman. I think, if you want this wild nature to be accessed within you, I think you're going to have to allow it to come out, and it's going to come out maybe in a way you didn't expect, and not necessarily representing or transforming you into what you thought it should. But I think that transformation nonetheless is going to lead you to this ultimate positioning that you've been looking for. Yeah, and it comes with being a little bit more bold, I think that a boldness that is coming out within you is going to ultimately lead you to this satisfaction that you've been looking for. But it requires you to be bold and curious and communicate with intelligence and take yourself a little bit more seriously also, to not be so threatened by what you have to say or what you can do, how you can move, how you can navigate, how you can express yourself with maturity. When that's taken seriously, I think that will elevate you. But it has to do with transforming yourself into more of a bold character and letting go of maybe the young, naive little girl inside. No longer being the young girl, but being the woman and not afraid of being the woman, even if you're just the young woman, But just a bit of a change of shape permanently, and a relinquishing of the safety of being the young, non-threatening, innocent princess. Being something different is going to help you to elevate and ultimately become, what you've been searching for. I think you're going to be letting go of what has been a stable sense of self for a long time. And I think it's going to have to do with you also finding a way to build a sense of financial security through your own means and taking charge of that part of your life as well. Anything else? Spit soul, higher self. Anything else? Soul, higher self. Oh. Anything else? Soul, higher self. I think if you just start to take your dreams and your aspirations a little bit more seriously and realize that it is more than possible for you to be many versions, that there are just so many more layers to you, so much more that you can do, and that you can light the fire to burn down your castle and become something new and transform all on your own, that you can take on these many different positions, that you can be these many things and come to your own rescue and access these different parts of you. And when you begin to realize that these are parts of you are also things that are lucrative, that can be lucrative, and that you've got a lot of wisdom within your wealth of experiences, that you're not just the young child, but that you've got a lot more to offer at this point. I think there's going to be a bit of a revolution when you come out of this energy of feeling like you've got to wait for change to hit you. I know it's frustrating to hear that perhaps the answer's already there within you, but I think it perhaps is. It's just a matter of realizing that you can take it and finding some power and some guts and some will to go there. And to be bold, to be brave. I think you can do it. You just gotta believe in yourself. Okay. What else? Anything else for the Page of Wands? Divine Masculine. Both. Interesting. Anything else? A Page of Wands. I think you're going to surprise yourself. And I think it's when you choose to surprise yourself and allow yourself to really dig into this energy and awaken to the parts of you that are alluring. And perhaps also, like, with the Divine Masculine here, but also with Aphrodite here, and Isis, and then also Untitled, and the Avalon priestess, and then Mary Magdalene, starring. Yeah, I feel like there's just like this full, wholehearted embrace of womanhood coming in, especially in terms of the way that women are powerful through their femininity and through the ways that, like, not seduction, but just when you think of Aphrodite, you know what she's powerful. You know what she's known for, what you first think of, and understanding, the attraction of femininity, how that can work, and then putting that power and that action behind it with the divine masculine, I think is going to lead you to discover, to have an awakening around just what you are meant to do here and how you can lead in your own life, through your specific talent, through your set of skills. And I think it's going to lead to a lot of healing around what you thought, all that you didn't realize was possible, and all the potential that you had within you that was perhaps kind of stuck, and going to open you to a greater vision for yourself. Yeah, a greater vision for your life. Lots of sexual wisdom here, sexual empowerment. Lots of sexual empowerment here, and union energy here, and yeah, empowerment here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that Page of Wands. That is your reading. Okay, Nine of Swords. Let's get into you guys. Nine of Swords. Hold on. Okay. Spirit, what is the Nine of Swords? Ooh. Where is the Nine of Swords in the Revolution? Now, you just might be the pile that's overdoing it. Nine of Swords. What are you guys doing in the Revolution right now? Hold on. The Knight of Discs and the Six of Wands. Oh. Seven of Swords and the World and Strength. And the Five of Discs. Fool and the Ace of Cups. That also comes with not being shuffled super well, but let's see. Lots of red. Oh, didn't I say you guys were the pile that might be overdoing it? There's a lot going on. I think there's a lot being pursued here. There's a lot being pursued here, and there's also just a lot in your own energy. There could be a lot that you're looking at, a lot of different paths for your life that you're perhaps looking at, a lot of different paths you can go down. I think there's a lot of options. This feels like the Seven of Cups right now. It just feels like there's a lot watching you, a lot of doors waiting, a lot of opportunities, a lot of different focal points that have been noticed by you. Yeah, a lot of different, but these are all they're opportunities that can show you the different ways your life can go. I feel like you're seeing different visions for your life, and there's just a lot to choose from. And I don't even know if you're in the choosing place or if you're just kind of recognizing all of the different options right now. Just recognizing that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different split off paths that you can walk down. And there's something kind of interesting about everything. But yeah, it kind of feels like you're at a marketplace in terms of the future, and you're just seeing many different futures, with like in terms of just different places you can focus. So you could be in a new beginning right now, because it feels like there's not open space, but just you're standing in front of a row of doors and you're choosing which door you want to go walk into. Yeah. Your destiny could really be in your hands right now, which is a lot of freedom, but also a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of attention that's required of you right now. A lot of focus in terms of having to make and wanting to make the right decision, wanting to choose the most powerful path, wanting to choose a path that really speaks to you, that really speaks life into you. Though I will say that with all of these different paths, I'm not sure anything. Some things are more striking, perhaps, but I'm not sure if anything is really standing out just yet. I feel like with the Strength card, there's something here. But I'll tell you that I don't feel like all else. Let me see. I want to use these. So there's that one. I think those ones are kind of coming up at the same time. I feel like you need to be choosing the thing that's looking right back at you. I feel like there is a door, or there is an opportunity that is kind of screaming your name, or that is watching you as intently as you are watching all of these different lives, future lives, and kind of getting a glimpse of them all and seeing which one is working. They're all kind of like flowing, and moving through the motions, and you're watching like life go by through these single door frames, getting a glimpse of what life will look like through each of these doors, through each of these windows. And then I think there's one that's a little bit more still, and even maybe a little bit more grim, because it's not like, it's kind of very centered and focused and very still, but it's looking just right back. It's looking right back at you. It's watching you just as much as you're watching it. And even when you're not watching it, it's watching you. But it's a complicated one because there's a grim energy, a dark energy to it. There's a bit of death, so it could be something that's also connected to your past. It could be something you've already experienced. It could be something that you once had a stake in, that you were once building within, and then maybe you left behind, but now there's something new, or it's beckoning you back, but you could feel like there's danger there. But there's also prosperity there. I feel like you should choose the option that recognizes you and that you probably recognize as well. Even if you recognize it from a place of fear, I feel like there is opportunity there, there is abundance there, and there is a chance for a really magnetic and mystical new beginning there. I feel like that is the one that wants to crown you. I feel like there is power for you to take into your own hands in an opportunity that wants you just as much as you want it. And you can know that it wants you because it just can't seem to leave your energy. It's always something that you end up thinking about or going back to, even if it's not something you're necessarily thinking about in a positive way. It could just flash into your mind. You could just see a little things about it that make you think of it. And you could just not think much about it, but it's just consistently coming up. It's consistently showing up. It's consistently capturing your attention and your focus. Because there's a lot of things that can capture your focus and your attention right now, but there seems to be something in particular that continuously does that. And I think that is the thing that is the door that you should go through. That is where you should give your attention. Because I feel like you are flying over the world, and it's like flying over the world and trying to see where you want to land. And there's this one spot every time you do a flyover, you always kind of look back in that direction, and you're not thinking much of it, because I don't think you can tell exactly what's going on there or exactly what you're going to experience there if you go there, because there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of action going on there. It's very still. It's almost like just a freeze frame photo, but it just captures your attention because it's striking. it stands out even with the lack of maybe perhaps exciting chaos and color and liveliness. There's a dream there, there's potential there, there's magic there. And I think you should give attention to it, and I think you should go there. Yeah, you're coming through. You're coming through here, and it feels like something has said it wants you. And I feel like that's what you should want too. You should want something that chooses you. Everything else kind of feels up in the air, but it feels like something has kind of like stuck its sword at your door and been like, I want to be with you. And now it's just, but you have the decision to choose whether you too would like to, whether you would like to make this a mutual bond. And I feel like something keeps calling you back towards it. Okay, what else, higher self? The King of Wands. I feel like there's a potential for you to have an audience. Wow, the Nine of Swords again. I feel like there's a potential for you to have an audience in this space. I feel like there's people there for you. There could be soul family there. There could also just be community there. There are people that you would, I think, resonate with in this specific arc, in this specific door, through this specific door. There's opportunity. Wow, I was going to say there's a kingdom that awaits. There's definitely power and opportunity. But there's also like a bit of a reclaiming energy that I think is possible. And something that is willing to be something worthy of fighting for and something worthy of building upon. I think there's something that you can lead through this door. And that's why that's why it keeps calling to you. There's definitely something to it. It's very mysterious though. It's not super obvious, and it's kind of it's mysterious. But I think it's something that is soul based, and it could be something that is connected to your past, and something that has a bit of a dark energy around it, where it's not all clear what's going on or where it will lead. But I think it's ultimately going to be very successful if you choose it. And something that allows you to access an inner wisdom, an inner leader within you, and channel a different kind of sound for your life, a different form of expression for your life. I think you're going to like who you are in this space. And I also think you're going to be surprised with who you are, who you can be, all the different versions of yourself that you can be. And I think you're going to feel a lot more at peace and at ease being yourself in this space than maybe any of the others. I think you're going to feel a lot more settled. It's going to really resonate once you allow yourself to get into that energy a little bit more. Anything else, Spirit, for this file? The Six of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, I feel like there is an idea or there is an opportunity that is coming through that's attached. And a wisdom that's being channeled. I feel like there is like, you've already, I feel like, invested into this space. There's already an investment, and I feel like there's something, there's like profit here, profit to be found here. But I also feel like there's just more to be gained. There's more to be channeled out of this space. There's more than you can see. And I feel like you've already done the hard work. I feel like you've already done the hard work within this space. Like, it would be where you've already done the hard work, so that now you are just going to be crowned. Now you are just going to gain a gift. Now there's just opportunity to seek out a little bit more magic, or a little bit more profit. It just feels more profitable in this space. It feels like there's a lot more that can be planted and a lot more that you can get out of it. Oh, and we also have 7. Oh, I wanted to say we had 777. We just have what's it called? Sorry. We have 2 7s. Now we could technically have 777. Yeah, I just feel like you're about to discover something. Like, I feel like you've already done the work within this space. You're going to find that you returned to this space and you found that you already done the work, or because it could be connected to something you've done in the past. You could be going back to something of the past, but it's now going to be a new experience because you're new. And you're going to find that there's quite a lot more to receive than you thought. That there was a lot more to the work that you had done, to what you had already accomplished before you had left this space, or something like that. There's a lot more here. I also think that you are expecting a certain experience of conflict, and instead you are going to be challenged and highlighted in your strengths. I think that you're going to face empowerment. And I think that that's going to be maybe a little jarring for you, but ultimately really, really good. I just see you being in a really positive positioning here. Yeah, okay. The Empress. I think that you've just invested in something, and I think it's going to pay off. Else? I mean, myself. Yeah, I just think this is lucrative. There could also be somebody coming through. There could be people that want to make offers. There's just a lot more energy in this space. I just feel like it's more alive, and there's a lot more to be. Yeah, I just think there's a lot more to be offered here, and a lot more coming through here. It's interesting, it's dynamic, and it's abundant, and it's mature, and it's leading to something. It's stable. Yeah, look at that. We have the Empress again, and we had the Emperor coming out, and the 9 of Cups. Yeah. Choose something that is maybe a little bit, it's familiar in terms of it's natural. It resonates on a soul level, but it's something that is natural to you. Which maybe isn't as exciting on first glance. It might feed into something that feels more instinctual, and you might want something that's shocking and different. But I actually think there's a lot more power to it than you know. There's a lot more than you know. And you've got a lot more invested. You could have past lifetimes invested in this area, and so when you go back there and you dig into it, especially after the spiritual work that you've done, I think you're going to find that it blows up in terms of prosperity for you, and it's just so much more abundant than you could have ever understood before, because you've also just unlocked access to certain past life gifts that are now going to be able to come to fruition in this specific type of environment. And I think it's going to lead you to a lot more wealth than you maybe previously thought. Yeah, look at that. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment and like financial comfort and luxury and prosperity. Yeah, I think you're going to have more than enough to go around. It's going to put you in a position to be very comfortable and put you in a position where you can be very generous with yourself and with others. Damn. There's wealth here. Just to be completely honest, there's wealth here. There's wealth, there's power, there's leadership, lots of masculine leadership. And your justice could be here too, but there's an abundance here. And I think it's because a lot of the work has already been done. Past lifetimes of work could have been done here, and current lifetimes of work. This could be something from the past coming around, and it's the option that keeps catching your glimpse. And it's not just because it's the past and you recognize it. There's something else that you recognize about it. It's something deeper, something that is a part of you that isn't it. Maybe it was meant to go away for a little while, but it's back, and it's back for a reason. I think you should consider it, because I think it's special, more special than it seems. You know, it might not be exciting and new, but there's something to it. There's something powerful to it. Okay. Okay. Soul. I wanted to say ancestors after I wanted to say spirit. Okay, higher self. What? Sweet success of Shun. Sweet success. Look at that. And look at that. She's kind of in a place that looks like the prairies. And the prairies is known for, you know, kind of all looking the same and boring. And, you know, she saw a bunch of land and fields, but it's abundant. And what would Canada be without the prairies? And it's also striking. I think you should stand, you have Leah here with stand your ground, and I think that you should follow where your energy is captured. Stick up for what your gut and your spirit is guiding you towards, and trust it. Even if you don't feel a pang of, you know, excitement and power, there is excitement here. There is power here and impact here. Divine messages. I think you could be getting a lot of clarity around this situation. Specifically when you think about this specific option. When you think about this door, a lot opens up and it feels like illuminated. It could feel kind of obnoxious how often it comes up for you and how often signs are repeated around this specific thing. But that's because I think they really want you to choose it. Hell, end of a cycle. Yeah. I think there's the end of disappointment coming in here. An end of seeking. Like, I feel like there's the end of seeking, and it's now you shall find. You shall find. Okay. So, thank you so much, Page of Wands. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. That's where you are in the revolution right now. If you chose the Judgment card, this is where you are in the revolution. Let's see. Okay, higher self. Where is the Judgment pile in the revolution? What are they doing? What are they up to? What is their focus? What's going on with the Judgment pile, also known as pile 5? What is going on with Judgment? What is going on with Judgment? Judgment. Whoa. 7. Oh, Queen of Wands. Justice. Wow, I was saying 7, 7, 11 in my head. Oh, wow, another 7. Wow. Okay. So, for you guys, we have the Queen. Well, the first card to come out was the 7 of Pentacles. Then we had the 7 of Cups. Then the Queen of Wands. The back of the deck energy was Justice. But when I picked it up, I saw another 7, the 7 of Swords. 777s have been repetitive numbers over the past few, I would say even weeks. So this could be major collective energy, but let's look into what this means specifically for you guys. Where are you right now in the revolution? I feel that there is a bit of a blank slate or a lot of blank space within you, and I feel like you're trying to figure out where you are right now because I feel like you have things going on for you, but I just don't feel like it's your vision. I feel like you don't have a vision that is being fulfilled right now, and so there's just a lot of empty space, a lot more. There could be a lot more than what there is right now. And I think that there's a recognition of that there's something lacking and it's within. It has to do with something within. Oh, wow, you have the Mother Star, the Yes card. Well, I feel like despite having a lot of things in your environment that are growing and are building, I think that you need to get more of a clear vision because it just feels like there's a bit of not a distrust in what you've invested in, but kind of a lack of soulful investment, personal investment. It's kind of like you're just doing the work. It's actually very similar to another pile, but it's kind of this energy of just going through the motions, but it's almost like your eyes are glazed over and you can't really, you don't have any interest in seeing what you are doing because I don't think that your vision, your internal vision is aligned with it. But I also just don't think that you have much of an internal vision. I think that you need to get some more direction and find your compass. Because I think what's going on inside right now is that there's just a whole lot of blank space. There's just a whole lot of emptiness and it needs to begin to be filled. But I feel like you might have done a lot of clearing out, or there could perhaps just be a bit of a detached energy, kind of a pristine energy, not really wanting to get your hands dirty, not really wanting to get invested in anything. Maybe because there's a bit of a fear about the emotional attachment and what that will do should things not work out, and not wanting to be vulnerable in that way. But it's leading to kind of a bit of an emptiness as a whole, even where there is a lot happening for you. It doesn't seem to be manifesting in a way that represents the fullness and the wholeness of it because you don't seem to be very present. So let's see what we can do about that. Perhaps there's more things that you need to say yes to. You could also be a little bit stingy and not really wanting to commit to anything, which is leading you to kind of not have a lot going on. And you might feel a bit upset or irritated about that, but it's like you have options being brought to you. You have opportunities being brought to the table, but you don't seem to want to accept anything or say yes to anything. And I don't think it's because these things aren't good enough. I feel like it might be operating more out of a place of some fear around whether it's maybe worth the time or just not wanting to, like, I feel like you want to protect the emptiness inside of you because it feels very clean and, like I said, pristine and like untouched and pure. But the problem is with that much blank space within is that you end up feeling empty and you end up feeling weightless and very much so ungrounded because there's nothing holding you to this reality. And this is the reality that you need to be in. So if you're waiting for something else to show up that will encourage you to get invested in your life, I don't think anything is going to come that is going to make it feel good enough. I feel like the thing that is worthy of you is already here. There are many options that are worthy of your time and your energy, and you need to not be afraid to get a little bit dirty and to maybe get some experiences on your back, get a bit of scars, get a little bit messed up. That's part of life. You need to get roughed up a little bit. And that just comes with living. And I feel like always trying to remain in this like angelic purity, it just doesn't work. And it leads you to a life of feeling unfulfilled. And I think that that's being reflected right now. And so there's a need to get invested, pretty much. Get invested in your world, in your environment, in relationships, in a job, in something. Make a commitment and really put yourself into it. Really engage with it. Okay. I guess that makes sense also with your card being Judgment. That's what is coming forth. What else? Higher self. What does Judgment need to know? You have the 8 of Cups. Yeah. I think there's also this energy of walking away from things that just keep you in this state of being naive. Like, I feel like there's a bit of an over-attachment to, like, the purity that comes with being young, and the innocence. There's, like, an over-attachment to the innocence of what it was like when you were a kid, and like you didn't have to really have any attachments. That meant like even the attachments you did have, they weren't going to lead you to have major responsibilities. And I feel like there's a bit of a fear of responsibilities and consequences that come from deciding to choose, make a choice. And I think the weight of your choices could be pushing you into a place where you just don't want to be connected to anything. But I think that there's a change coming towards that energy right now, and I think that you're going to be evolving out of this kind of, for lack of a better word, immature state. And it's not that you are immature, it's just this it's just what comes with lack of maturity, which is lack of responsibility. I think you're going to be taking on more responsibility, which will, I think, give you some more meaning and some more depth in your life. But also just in your sense of self, because I also think that there's like, I think you need some more experiences to kind of build up your character right now, because you could feel a little bit superficial or shallow within yourself, and not like you're superficial and you're shallow, but just you could feel like there's not a whole lot going on, or that you have a whole lot to say. And I think it's literally just because you don't have enough experiences that mean something to you. You have to get hurt. You have to feel rejected. You have to experience failure. You have to give it your all and have it be uncomfortable and be embarrassed. You need all these things to help build you and shape you and get to see different parts of you. And I think you feel a little bit too curated and perfect right now. And I think Spirit wants to show you that it's actually very exciting to be messy. It means more, and it's an enjoyable life, even as scary as it might feel. This could also be a reaction that you're having to, this could also be, what's it called? You could have also already gone through a lot of experiences, and then gone through a healing phase, and now there could be some fear around going back out into the world and getting reattached and, going through the cycles all over again. But it's going to be different now because you've gained a lot of wisdom, right, from your past experiences. It's not going to be as traumatic as the first time you get thrust into the world. So there's also a little bit of a need to trust yourself and trust what you already know. Trust the knowledge you've already gained. All they do is this, twerk some, twerk some. There's also a need to make plans. Yeah, there's a need to make plans and invest yourself in a path that's going to allow you to grow in your power. And not just like personal power, but like having a stake in the world, you know, being someone who's able to leave a mark. You need to have a bit of a legacy, and it's time to start to work on that. You need to get on your legacy path. No more playing around. What do you want your influence and your impact to be? I think that's the question that's being asked right now. What else is going on for this pile judgment? Where are they at in the revolution? Where are they at in the revolution? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Yeah. Okay, honey. What is this pile doing? Oh, you got the tower. It was only a matter of time. Uh-oh. It's okay. Don't be scared. Oh my gosh, you have a lot of yeses coming out. Okay, so you actually could have an opportunity coming that you are going to need to say yes to. Or this could just be a whole lot of confirmation, but you have the tower coming. So something is definitely going to come and shake up your energy. And it might be a little bit unwanted. But I personally think that this is a fabulous upgrade to your life, because right now it's not giving. You need something to jazz it up a little bit. It's a little too safe. You're playing it a little too safe. And I think that something within you recognizes that there's definitely a lot more that you could be doing, and a lot more that you want to be doing and that you're capable of. So I think that, you know, your high tower is about to come falling down. The walls are going to come falling down. And you are about to be exposed to the world and made a part of the world, whether you like it or not. But I think that ultimately you're going to really be grateful for this, because it's time to get back out there. Simple as that. Yeah. And it's okay to feel nervous and feel protective, but I think that you're not going to need to, take such a warrior stance. I think that you're going to find that the world is a lot more welcoming than you expect, and that you are naturally able to navigate being part of, the what's it called? The rush and the buzz of the city life and the chaos of being part of humanity. I think it's not going to be as scary. You're going to recognize your natural instincts and the fact that you naturally belong in the movement of it all. And I think you're going to find it actually really fun, and you're going to find that you're going to become more creative and expressive because you are answering to something, because there's more going on in your world. There's more to be inspired by out there compared to inside these four walls. And the universe aligned with all I had in mind. Who knew there was a life behind those four pink walls? Look at that, the Hierophant. But I think that this is actually talking about a falling away of tradition and a moving towards something that is kind of, it feels like almost like an eclipse. and a recognition that there's just something bright and shiny ready to be awakened. And just something like groovy and fun. This feels like a stark difference, or a stark contrast to what you are coming from. But something that ultimately means so much more and is going to just give you the vibrancy that you've been looking for. I feel like you're going to become a whole, full person, because right now it feels like you are stagnant in your sense of self and in your development of self. Just things are not fully matured, and I think that you are going to find that you really evolve as you get out there. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay. And any last messages for this pile? Where they're at right now in the revolution. So for you, you could be somebody that's kind of closed off and not really getting involved, not really participating in conversation, not really taking a stance on anything, just not really part of the world in that way. And I think you're going to be finding that you're going to be pushed into a position. You're going to have to take a stance. You're going to have something to say. And you're going to communicate that well, and it's ultimately going to find that, make it so that you express a part of yourself that maybe hasn't had a chance to really shine. Or really be seen at all. So you could also feel like you are completely transformed during this time, which is exciting. And that makes sense with the Judgment card again. So you are probably going through a little bit of your own mini revolution happening right now. It needs to happen. Welcome it, embrace it, and be excited for the future. I think that's it for you guys. Okay, so that's where you're at in the revolution. Oh my goodness, look, you have the yes again. There's something to absolutely coming into your reality that you should absolutely say yes to. Absolutely. Something's coming in that you should absolutely say yes to, even if it's just this experience of allowing the transformation to come. But because of how many times the yes card is coming out, I feel like if there's a question that's asked or an opportunity that's offered or something, just say yes. I don't know where it's going to lead, but it seems like it's going to be great. Okay, cool. Okay, so check back next month to see where you're at in the revolution. And good luck and enjoy the new year. Toodaloo! Okay, hello, welcome. If you chose the Eight of Swords, if you resonated with the Eight of Swords, or if you resonated with being pile number 6, this is where you currently are in the revolution. Let's see. Just wonder to inspire your journey. Okay. Higher self, where we are. This is a beautiful pile. Something like Bambi in the wilderness. Just a little fawn sprinkling through the woods, chasing a butterfly. With the doves and the squirrels all around, I feel there is magic all around. I had a good feeling about your pile right before I started. Wow, I had a feeling there is something jazzy and sweet. Look at that, the 6 of Swords and the World card, isn't that neat? Looks like you've got a bit of magic to believe. Looks like you've got a little sweet. Something to sing, something to dance to, something to make you move. Something to make you feel like the world is always in your groove. Something gonna keep the pace in the waist and make your body smile. It seems like it'll be here for a while. I just lost your Six of Swords. I'm sorry. Oh, never mind, I found it. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, the World card, and at the back of the deck we have the number yes. I mean the card yes. Based off of that musical performance I just gave, I feel like there's a bit of a theatrical energy going on in your life. I also feel like there's magic all around. This feels very positive. I feel like you have grown very comfortable in the darkness. I feel like for this pal with the Eight of Swords, and that's so funny because yesterday when I was picking the cards and I got the Eight of Swords and I was looking at it in the camera, I was like, wow, this card feels so alive to me. And again, now with your energy, before I started, I was feeling like, oh, I bet the next pile is going to be really positive. And here we go. I kind of feel like you have grown very, very, very comfortable and very, you very much so have evolved into a very expressed and creative and alive version of yourself in the darkness. I think you've become very comfortable exploring the unknown. Not necessarily the unknown. I feel like you've become very comfortable being in an energy that is not predictable, that is not on a path, that is not all planned out and all stabilized and like checked and ready. Like I feel like you're okay kind of being in, oh wow, look at that, 333. I feel like you've grown to be very, very, very wise and brave and happy in your own energy and in a bit of wild and unique, strange kind of energy, and it's very, very beautiful. It's very standout. The thing is, I think that this part of your life is coming to an end in terms of you being in the darkness. I think that you've kind of been off in your own world, and it's been like that for a while, and you could also have been a bit isolated, because as I'm looking at the Six of Swords, it really does make me think of the Hermit card. But the Hermit, who has now been a hermit for a very long time and loves it there, and it feels as if you have managed to create a world for yourself within the darkness. You've managed to create something out of nothing, and that something has become something very special. And it kind of feels like you rule this world. You've gotten into a position, you've grown so confident in your own energy that you manage to really be in control, really be the monarch of your own land, of your own personal world, really be the ruler of this world. And you've created your own little kingdom, your own little system, your own little path, and it's very beautiful. I wanted to say Mercury for some reason. It's very, very beautiful, and very confident and self-assured. And I feel like this energy moves very effortlessly. Very effortlessly. It also makes you think of the Hierophant. But yeah, a lot of power positions. You're definitely in your power. You're definitely in your own personal power in whatever space that you are in right now. It's a personal space. But like I said, I've got a feeling that this is not, you are about to be moved out of this space. Not out of all of the positivity of it, but just out of isolation, out of your personal world. I feel like you live in a very alive and a very vivid imagination, fantasy inner world, and even in your external reality, because you've perhaps been a bit isolated from people, you've still managed to bring that magic in, but it really is intimate and it's heavily connected to who you are. That, I think, is now being cracked open. I think that you are no longer going to be just dancing in your magic all alone. I think you're going to be involved in other energies. I think that part of the reason why this energy is been able to be so magical and so unique and sacred is because it's your own. It's like personal to you, and it's not been influenced by or grown with alongside any other energy. It's all you. But I think that what is happening now is that we have the Tower here and the Hanged Man. I think that you are being pushed out of this state because there's obviously a lot to share, and this energy is very needed in the world at large. And I think that you are now being asked to trust in the ability for your kind of magic to be able to exist and still shine in collaboration with other people's energy, and trust that it's not something that is going to falter or become watered down or eclipsed by other energies or just the energy of the world at large. This is something that is able to stand up and stand solid, stand its ground in the world. It's not only precious because it's personal to you and only in your space. It's precious and it's magical, and it is worthy of being seen and received by other people. And it's strong enough to exist, to coexist alongside the chaos of life, of a life shared with community. That's what I'm feeling right now. So that's where you are right now in the revolution. What does that mean, though? And why is this coming up? Lots of masculine energy here, actually, with the Emperor and the King of Cups. But it's definitely it's a very balanced masculine energy. Very, very balanced and very self-assured, very confident. Confident but not cocky. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I just feel like you've been taking your time. I want to say you've been taking your time getting out into the world, but I don't feel like you've really been trying all that hard to really get out into the world. I think you've been walking extra slow, moving extra slow, and kind of taking lots of time to smell the roses and dibble over here and doobly daddle over here. And there could be a little bit of an avoidance of getting out of your shell here. But it's not negative, to be honest. It is what it is. Like, I completely understand why you don't want to leave your energy, because it's really nice. And it's comfortable and it's magical. And it's something that feels special and sacred to you. So I completely understand why you're not so keen to leave this world. But it's also something that it fully exists within you. And it's something that you can bring into other spaces that you enter into. And it's something that's really, really needed. So I would really encourage you to be more welcoming of the opportunity to get back out into the world, because you're not going to lose this feeling that you have, this magic that you have, this spark that exists within you, or this flame that exists within you. It's not going to be lost once you get out there. It's kind of actually only going to grow bigger. And I think part of the reason why you need to leave this space of isolation and your internal world is because there's just not enough room. You can only fill the space so much before you need to go beyond, before you need to expand. And I think you're getting to that point where everything that can be done and can be imagined has been imagined. And now it's time to feel it and express it and live it in the real world rather than just in your fantasy. You've dreamed long enough. You've yearned long enough. You've pondered long enough. You've imagined long enough. And probably imagined every which way that life could go in the best of ways, and probably in other ways as well, but in the best of ways. And now it's time to make a healthy investment and a commitment to the reality of this, or the possibility of the reality of at least one of your fantasies and your dreams coming true by getting out there and being a part of the world. You can't have anything, come to fruition in the 3D if you're not also here, grounded in the 3D. If you want to receive your dreams, you've got to be here to receive them. And I think you're going to find that you're not the only one that's like you. You're not the only one that's been building a world. You're not the only one with magic. You're not the only one that's different and strange and cool and peculiar and unique in your own special way. You're not the only one. And I think that if you give yourself the chance to get out there with your gift, with your magic, and share that, you're going to come across people who are just like you. And you're going to find family, and you're going to be able to build home alongside these people. I think that you're more than ready to also be in connection with community. Yeah, I think the time for being alone has come to an end. It's just about kind of getting comfortable with the reality of that. I can see there's a little bit of anxiety around that. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it just gets easier the deeper into this new space you get. It's going to be scary at the beginning, but that's just life. Plans, partnership, influence. The Two of Wands has been coming out in pretty much every reading, so that's probably just a collective energy at this point. But we also have the Queen of Cups and the Chariot. The Queen of Cups, and we have the King of Cups here, so there is counterpart energy, but that's also just a lot of Cancerian energy here. Watery energy, mother energy. How can you mother yourself? It's kind of like, there's also kind of this energy of like mom's first night out back on the town after like being cooped up in the home like with the baby. Like there's kind of that energy, or even the energy of like when the final kid moves out the house and you're finally back in your own space, and now you get to be like your own independent person again, and you remember what life was like before you started sharing life, with these creations that you made. And there's a little bit of like, I wanted to say Stella got her groove back, but I've never even seen that movie. But just like what that energy of the title of that movie makes you feel like someone getting their groove back. Or like Return of the Mac, like just something, it feels like you are being given an opportunity to kind of come out with a bang and show the world what you've been doing in your free time, in your personal time. And not be so, secretive and kind of closeted away. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac one more time. You know what also makes me think of that movie Ella Enchanted? No, not Ella Enchanted, just Enchanted. The movie with not Rachel McAdams, but the other woman. But anyway, she falls through that little like castle or that tunnel, and then she's like brought to New York City in real life. That movie. It makes me think of that. Because I do get a kind of like a little bit of like a Disney princess, dreamy energy in terms of your own internal world, and then like being brought into the reality of the 3D world, but finding a way to still bring that magic, that whimsical energy with you. Okay. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. One more time. Is there anything else for pile 8? Pile 8, 8 of Swords. For the 6th pile for the 8 of Swords. Anything else for the 8 of Swords? Anything else to say for the 8 of Swords? Anything else to know for the 8 of Swords? Oh, 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 oh. Desire, obsession, fear, shadow. Return of the Mac. You have the Devil here. And then you have the Magician. I would say do not be afraid of sharing your magic. Don't be afraid of sharing your skills and your talents. Because I think that in your own little world, you might really love, practicing your whatever you consider your craft to be. But I think that maybe when you get out into a world where you have an audience, you could have a tendency to kind of begin to vilify your skills, your talents, or just consider them not to be good enough, or just some type of thing comes up around what you're really good at, what you're gifted at, to make it feel like there's something wrong, or this is something that shouldn't be shared or shouldn't be given into. But this is your magic, and it's something that you are that's meant to be received by others, but that you're meant to be able to stand in fully and express fully, no matter what other people think. This is your offering to the world, and it's something that's very sweet, and something that's very beautiful, and something really worthy of being received. Really worthy of being given, and really worthy of being received. And I think you should treat it as something that's truly like a gift to bestow upon your community, upon the people that find their way to you and find their way to your work. And you should treat it just like that. Like it's like something precious from a sacred river or something. But recognize the power in your offerings, and recognize the worthiness in them. And don't ever sell them short, and don't sell yourself short as you enter back into the world. Don't make yourself small. Don't dim your light. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac one more time. Oh. And also, don't tell yourself stories about how people will receive you, and whether people will want to receive you, and all of these things, Just allow yourself to go through the experience. Anything else? Soul, higher self. Anything else, higher self? Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, I think it's just time to stand in your power, speak your truth, share, which I think is sharing your creativity, sharing your art, sharing your magic, your offerings with the world. And yeah, get into business. This could also be you kind of beginning to explore entrepreneurship and sharing your talents in a way that can perhaps make you money, which we love. Yeah, there is a little bit of like a thing coming in around this being an opportunity for you to find wealth, also for you to find income, or just to find a new career, and a sense of independence also with your wealth, because you've also mastered something while spending so much time in the darkness, and that's something that really should be shared, like really, really should be shared. Okay, so thank you so much, Eight of Swords. I hope you enjoyed. This is where you are currently in the revolution, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay. The High Priestess. The High Priestess. The High Priestess. If you resonated with the High Priestess, there's an arrow. I see something going that way. If you resonate with the High Priestess, then this is your reading. This is where you are in the revolution. Okay. High Priestess. Only 2 more piles left, and you are the second to last pile. You're also the 7th pile. Number 7. The year we just came out of was the year number 7. Okay, higher self. What is going on with the High Priestess? Who are my High Priestesses, and where are they currently in the revolution? What's going on for them right now in the revolution? I feel something at the top of my head, something in my crown chakra, I think. I feel something in the top of my head, something in my crown chakra, I think. Where is the High Priestess? What is the High Priestess up to? What are they doing? The High priestess. What are they up to? What are they doing? What are they up to? What are they doing? What are they up to? What are they doing? Ooh. The Three of Wands. Waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. I keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. I think that you have something that you are trying to bring to other people. This feels like land ho, land ho. This feels like that kind of energy where you are just waiting for your ship to dock. And it feels like instead of like with the Three of Wands, usually it's someone watching their ships coming in. It feels like you are driving the ship in. And you've got something to say. You've got something to offer. Three of Wands, the Emperor, and the Page of Cups. I feel like you've got a little something that you want to bring to the world. You want people to hear your story. And I think that's fabulous. We've got the King of Wands right here as well. I feel like there's a lot of confidence here. Lots of confidence in what you are bringing forward. And it's just like, you just can't wait. You just cannot wait for this thing to reach the people. I also feel like you've got an audience of people waiting to hear you out. I will say that as well. I also feel like, I don't know, I'm not trying to make this a love reading, but I'll just say this really quickly. I do feel like you've got some suitors out. Okay, I actually feel like you have quite a few eyes on you. The same way that you are watching, it feels like you are watching a destination and you are waiting to arrive there at a specific destination. And it's because you have something that you want to bring. It's something you want to like plant. I feel like you when a country goes to the moon and they want to mark their territory and they put their flag in the ground. Like I feel like you have this kind of energy of wanting to mark out a place for yourself. It's like you've got your three wands and you're going to mark them in the ground and that's going to be your space. And then you're going to take that space and you're going to build something with it. So that's what you're looking forward to. I feel like there are quite a few eyes watching you as well. And some eyes are here to entertain you. Like entertain you as in like hear you out, listen to you, see what you're all about. There might be some eyes that are looking to see if there's some type of collaboration that could happen here or just seeing what you have to offer. They're all at different power levels. And then I also think there's some haters. And not necessarily haters in terms of like actually a hater, but more so just like people who are watching you with a little bit of jealousy. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of scrutiny. And just trying to figure out like, who's that girl? Who's that girl? Who's that chick? And it's like, girl, you'll never know. With the Hierophant here. I think there's a lot of people waiting to receive you though, which is super interesting because I'm not sure if they're actually watching you, like you, or if people can also feel that there is an energy coming into the space. It just so happens to be your energy. Or maybe people can sense that there is a space opening up. And they're wondering what's going to fill that space. Either way, it just feels like there is an awareness on both ends of an open space, and it feels like you are gunning for that space. And then there are the perspectives of others, waiting to see who's going to take that space, what you're going to do with that space, how they can perhaps overtake that space. There's lots of different perspectives happening here. But all of your eyes are on something. Everybody's kind of got their eyes on something. So there's lots of focus here, which I think is really good. Okay. So what is the point? What is the pizzoint? What's the pizzoint of all of this? Of all of this? What's that? We got the lovers. Ooh, and the Ten of Cups. Ooh, Yeah, there could also be. I mean, I didn't want to make it a love reading, and it's not going to be a love reading, but I was saying at the beginning, I didn't finish my sentence because I got distracted, but I was going to say you also could have, multiple suitors. There could be multiple suitors coming through. That's also something that could be in existence. There could be partnership coming through. But like love offers and just kind of seeing that people have different things to offer. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, ooh, there could also be two love offers coming in that offer very different realities. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Wow. Now you have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Lovers, the King of Wands, the Hierophant, the Emperor, the Page of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Devil. I feel like you've got a massive future ahead of you that you are, but I don't think that's what you're seeing. I think you're just looking at an open space and you're just looking to plot your stuff down. But I think that what's also going on is there's quite a few opportunities to build legacy, to build a family, to build a partnership, a relationship. There's a lot going on here. It's not just about creating a space for yourself. There's also kind of a bit of land, like property energy here in terms of like even space for you to build like physically. This is so interesting, and I feel like it comes through these two powerful masculine energies with the King of Wands and the Emperor, which are offering very different things though to you. To be honest, I would rather pick the King of Wands if I had to choose. I kind of feel like you want to pick the person or you want to pick the opportunity that is going to build with you, that is going to help you build, that you are going to be able to build alongside. Not the person that already has everything and that maybe just wants to put you in a certain position. So like what I'm saying is like, if you had two offers coming at you, like two love offers, let's say you're a person, you have two love offers coming at you. And one of the people is somebody who's very wealthy, very well off, already kind of has their life together, already kind of has everything that they want, and they could even also have like a child already from another relationship or something. And they want to marry you and make you their partner and make you the person that takes care of the home and the household, and maybe you guys will have a kid together. So like you go from being someone who has a dream and someone who has passions and desires and like an adventurous life and like you've got things you want to do, to meeting this person who has everything already and can give you a lot and give you a sense of stability. And so they immediately place you into that position. So there's not much that you really have to do beyond accept this offer, and then you kind of take on this position, but that position is very contained within the meaning of somebody else's life. Then you have this other offer from somebody who is also like well established. They're not the top of the top, but they're fine. And they are interested in building something together. And they are interested in creating something that is a legacy, that's built together. And this one is, wow. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, actually, it's quite simple. One of them is more of a divinely appointed union. One of them is more of a divinely led union, and one of them is more so about temptation, power, and will. But where that will is coming from is, okay, to be honest, it's kind of an obvious choice. Between the Emperor and the King of Wands, I'd pick the King of Wands. The person that wants to build alongside you, that would like to create something together, because it feels like there's more potential for your dreams to also be considered and for you to have a say in the legacy that is built, rather than the person that would like to just put you immediately into a position of power, right? Because it's all within their life. It's all within their abundance that they've already amassed. And it just doesn't seem to mean as much. And it seems like they would then prescribe you meaning, and the meaning that and the legacy that you would create feels like it would just come through like the legacy of a child, rather than you getting to have your dreams manifest, you know? Like I see more being done with your talents and your skills when you decide to go with the option that's a little bit that doesn't have as much to offer you, maybe yet, in terms of finances and power and positioning and comfort and all of those things, but ultimately gives you more room to grow, be creative, express yourself, still learn, still evolve. So yeah, you also don't have to choose any of these things. These also don't have to be love offers. These could be literally these could be work opportunities, right? It doesn't have to be a relationship. We have the High Priestess and the Hermit. The High Priestess and the Hermit. I just feel like you don't want to do anything that's going to stomp out your thirst for knowledge and this journey that you're on already. Like, you want something that fuels the fire, not something that puts the fire out. You know, no matter how good it looks. You want something that fuels the fire, that encourages you to grow in your intuition, in your wisdom, in your talents, in your skills, in your creativity, in your work. You want to grow in your work. You don't want to be put out, and you don't want to settle. You know, you don't want to become contained, be put into a box, become controlled. You don't want to become tamed. That's not what you're looking for, because you're coming into the situation with the intention to go on a fabulous journey and go on an adventure and be thrilled by life and have your offerings and make something of yourself. You know, it's like this energy of moving to Hollywood and trying to become a big star. Like, you've got dreams. You don't want those dreams to be eclipsed by someone else who wants to come in and you know, just put you into a certain position. There also, though, is this side energy of you also don't have to choose any of these things, and you can fully ignore these offers and just continue on your path. Come, mark your space out, ignore the offers, and continue to grow and do self-discovery. I don't feel like there's a huge preference either way. It's just kind of all the options. You've got a lot of offerings. You've got a lot of options. You just have the Ten of Swords. What is that trying to say? The Ten of Swords. Yeah, I almost feel like you're meant to say no to both. Huh. I almost feel like maybe you're not supposed to take either of these offerings. Because I just kind of feel like you've already got a lot going for yourself on your own. And I kind of feel like maybe it's too soon for someone to come in or something. It's even, okay, so let's take this out of the context of a relationship and put it into the context of career. Let's say you make an album or you make a hit song, right? And it goes viral and it's really popular, and so all of these record labels start to reach out to you. And they're like, we want to sign you. And they're like, we want to sign you for 10 years. You know, but we're going to give you $10 million and blah, 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 blah. It just feels too soon. You know, it's you haven't even gotten a chance to see how big you can grow, how great you are. You don't really know where your potential is going to lead you. And so nobody can really make an offer to you that is really reflective of what you truly deserve, because you don't even really know what you you don't know yet. It just feels too soon. it feels like you come in with this fire and people like are immediately like, okay, how can I get a piece of this? Or how can I control this? Or how can I, how can I get in on this? And some people have great intentions and other people not so much. And other people are just, for their own gain. Either way, though, I think no matter whether the intentions are great or not, I think you should prioritize yourself and maybe like not even choose any of these options because it just feels like you've got a lot to discover and there's just a lot more to create, a lot more to work on, a lot more growth to come. And you don't want to cut yourself short, you don't want to what's it called? Like you're right at the beginning. You don't want to just immediately lock yourself away in a tower. It's like, like a woman being at the height of her career or like right at the beginning of her career and growing and thriving and then some person coming along and getting her knocked up and then she's like moving to the suburbs and locked away in a house and never sees the light of day again. Like it's kind of that energy where it's like you just don't let anybody come and put your light out too fast, right? Because you're just starting to burn. You're just starting to grow. You want to give yourself a chance. Don't become attached. Don't attach yourself to anything or commit yourself to anything that will really cost you before you're ready. You want anything that you're going to become attached to really feed into you as well. And you also, like, you don't need to share any of your, like, magic right now. You don't really need to build alongside someone. You don't need to collaborate. You don't need to be in a partnership. Like, it feels like it's too early. You're too young, you're too fresh, you're too hot. Like, it's just not the time for people to be coming in and hitching their wagon to yours. So I would just be I would be discriminating when it comes to offers from others, especially if they want a piece of the pie and especially if they want to like attach their name to yours and have this be something that you're doing together instead of them just investing in you. It's different like when you have an investor versus you have someone that wants to be like a co-CEO, those are very different. And I just don't know if you necessarily need any partnerships right now. You just need supporters, but I don't know if you need partnerships. But that could just be one line of thinking because there was that other way to interpret it, but that is something to consider. If you don't feel like majorly drawn to any of those people, don't take them up because I don't think you need to. Yeah, I think that there's a very strong independent energy here. And if you want to be independent, be independent. Do exactly that. Don't share. Don't commit. Don't sign that contract. Ooh! Don't collaborate. Ooh! But hold on now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like you need to connect. Okay. This is the thing. So you are heading to this place, right? You're heading to this opportunity, this destination. This could be literal or this could be metaphorical. Either way, you're heading somewhere. You're arriving somewhere. You've got these plans. You've got these big plans. Now, immediately off the bat, when you arrive there and people see what you're working with, or even just people get a whiff of your energy, I think you're going to have options. I think that there's going to be offers made to you. I would not take any of the things that come right off the bat. I wouldn't take anything that's offered to you right away because I just don't think that they're equal matches, okay? I think that there is something that's going to come further down the line once you've matured a little bit, once you've gotten, settled into your space, once you've built something up for yourself, there is a really fabulous collaboration, partnership, connection that can happen, but it's further down the line. Once you've had some time to be grown in your own energy and to really enjoy the fruits of your labor that you built on your own, you need to spend some time being, rich and independent. You need to spend some time being the soul leader and getting to understand how you lead on your own, how you build on your own, how you grow on your own. Once you've kind of gotten a handle on that, I see something else coming in that's like an equal match. And this feels a lot more prosperous and fabulous, if you ask me. If you ask me. The Hanged Man. Yeah, I would wait. I would wait it out. Do not take the first like 3 offers you get. I just wouldn't take them. Like it's really that much. There's quite a few times that you're going to have to say no before you should say yes. And they're all going to tell you different stories, and they're all going to have different things that are interesting, but I just don't feel like they're going to really pull at you. I just don't think it's going to be interesting enough. I don't think it's going to be enough of a sell, even though they do offer things that are quite awesome, but the things that they offer would force you to settle down. The things that they offer would force you to become tamed. And you've got too much ambition, and you've got too much desire right now. They would force you to become, like a housemaker, a homemaker, and it's just not, that doesn't feel like where your energy is right now. Your energy isn't in the home, it's in the world. And you need the freedom to be able to do that. So I would wait. I would say no to a couple of offers, and then when it's time to say yes, you will know. You will know. And you'll have grown. You'll be in a much more mature state. It will be some time after you've already planted these seeds and they've grown and you've got something of your own. You've got something of your own, because you're not really coming in with a lot. You're not landing in this space that you're looking forward to getting to with a lot, other than a couple of dreams. And the people that are making offers to you do have quite a bit to offer. All different amounts. They do have quite a bit to offer. But you don't really understand how valuable what you're carrying is, and what it's going to grow to, what it's going to amount to. And if you give yourself the opportunity, you can really blossom. You can really bloom. You can really become something super great. And it's not like you would have a horrible life should you take up these other offers. You'd have a great life. You'd be happy, you'd be fulfilled, but your fulfillment would be in one specific area of your life. And then all those other things would kind of be on the wayside. Versus if you give yourself a little bit of time and allow certain things to grow, you get to experience fulfillment in so many different areas of life. And it's honestly just a fuller life. It's a fuller life, and it's a life where you truly did more with what you had. You didn't waste anything, and I just think that's the path you should take. So I think you should take your time, be discerning, take your time, be discerning, and say no. Say no a couple times before you say yes. You really don't have anything to lose. You don't have anything to lose. Even if you lose out on these offers and you feel like, oh, I should have taken that. You've got something you're building on your own anyways. And I don't know. I feel like you should wait it out. Okay. Then we got the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. Yeah. I just think that magic is on your side. I also think that time is on your side. So take it. Take your time. Go slow and focus on building your skills. Focus on building your path and figuring out what you want. Focus on exploration and discovery. And I think that the universe will really honor that experience rather than you rushing into the first, shiny offer you get that seems to stabilize you and protect you and offer you security. You don't really need security. You need to be a woman of the world. You need to be kind of wild and freely expressed. That's where your energy needs to be. You've got a very youthful energy. You're ready to get out there. You don't need to be tamed. Okay. That's where you are in the revolution. That's an exciting place to be. It's a little intimidating just because you do have to be strong enough to say no. And these are quite the offers that you're getting, especially right at the beginning. But I would wait it out. I would really, really wait it out if I were you. I think that there's just a lot more going on for you than you can see. And it might not feel that way, but I think that you can sense a bit of excitement. And I just think that these offers, you're going to know because it's not going to feel worthy. Even though these things might seem like you're really getting the better end of the deal and this is this is a blessing for you. it might not feel that way. It might still feel like you're kind of selling yourself short. And I think that's how you know. It's not something that makes you like want to dance and, you know, clap your feet or whatever. Judgment. Yeah. Trust your judgment. Trust your judgment. No matter what other people are saying, no matter what it means societally, trust your judgment. You know what's best for you. And just wait it out. I just would say wait it out. Okay. I think that's it for you guys, High Priestess. So, yeah, really, honestly, please just wait. Just wait. Wait and focus on yourself and focus on what you're building. Please. Because once you do that and you give yourself some time, the right thing will come along. I promise. Yeah, when you're ready. Anyways, that's it for you, High Priestess. I hope you enjoyed. I will talk to you guys later. Let me know how it all resonates, and see you later. See you later, alligator. See you later, alligator. No. Okay. Final one. Strength card. If you chose the Strength card, this is where you currently are in the revolution. This is where you are in the revolution. So this is where you are in the revolution. Now this is where you are in the revolution. So this is where you are in the revolution. We can shuffle with the Lightseers deck now that we're done. This is the last pile. So pile number 8. You are the 8th pile. We are in the 8th year. Happy New Year. Let's see where you're at in the revolution. What's going on with you guys? Guys and gals, girls and pearls, whirling around the world, swirling around the world. Ooh. Up to the top, slip and slide and rock that rhythm. 3 of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. We were just talking about the 3 of Wands and the 8 of Cups. We've got the 3 of Wands, we've got the 8 of Cups and the Queen of Pennies. Something could be being, it's so interesting because in one way I want to say something's being revealed. In another way I want to say that something's been covered up. Something's been renewed. Like something was once one thing, then what's it called when you, not restoration, but reupholster, like when you make something like reupholster, redesigned, there's that kind of energy. Recycle, make something new again. Take something old and make it new again. Is kind of the energy I'm feeling here. At least with the 3 of Wands. Yeah, there's this energy of taking something old, making it new again, and then going out and discovering how to utilize this thing, how to use this tool to allow you to go where you want to go, take you where you want to go. I feel like you're in like a solid state of surrender right now. Whoa. You see the sun rising here. Night, midday, sun rising here. There's definitely a level of acceptance coming through around like what's done is done, and what will be is soon to be revealed. Like what's done is done. There's definitely an energy around that and accepting that. But also there's this energy of completion, especially with the Queen of Pentacles. It feels like this energy of like understanding that you've, like, the hard work truly is done. Like the hard part of life really is done. You've kind of made it through. You've survived it. And now there's like there's a settled energy, a very comfortable energy here, where now it's just kind of about enjoying the fruits of your labor, and enjoying what your sacrifices are now leaving you open to, and kind of just fully indulging in that, fully taking it on. And I also see this energy of not waiting around to begin and just deciding to take it into your own hands. It's a very settled energy. You have the Three of Pentacles. I just feel like a very, this energy just feels very satisfied. The Page of Wands has been coming out quite a bit too. So there's that satisfaction energy, but this is kind of a different message. There's also this energy of like growing up, like from the Three of Pentacles to the Page of Wands. It feels like, what you were introduced to as a child, maybe through family, a gift or a talent or some type of experience or expression of the arts that you were introduced to as a child, the way that you bonded with your family or worked together with your family as a child, that also gave you a connection to this form of expression, this type of work. Now in a more mature energy and in a more independent energy, not necessarily like a full-on adult, but like a teen or like a young adult energy, where you're now beginning to be able to craft your own craft on your own independently. There's the way that relationship has been transformed and the way that you've been able to make it your own. And now I see a lot of experimentation and playful energy, kind of similar to an inner child, but more like an inner teenager, around this type of expression or connection with creativity. Like there's something that maybe you did as a child with your family, and it's not the exact same thing as what you're doing now or what you like to do now, but there's a connection between the two. Like if your family didn't do this with you as a child, you wouldn't be doing this now. But it's not the same thing. It's just that there's an energy transfer. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it's just what's coming through. I do think that there could be a deep childhood memory being unlocked for you guys right now. And I think you could be realizing where it all began, where like a passion for something began. And I don't know if they're like, I guess, okay, so what's the point of that? What's the point of that? I don't know if there's much of a point at all. I just think that it could be a bit of a full circle moment. You could be having a full circle moment. And I think you're just meant to enjoy it. I don't think it's meant to be like a big thing. It's just something to enjoy and allow to settle into your energy. Allow this memory, because I just feel like you've received a piece of the puzzle. Is basically what it feels like. It feels like you've received a piece of the puzzle. And an earlier vision for your life is becoming more complete. It feels like a vision for your life that was perhaps held by your family and was supported by your family. It's coming to fruition more and more. And I think for a long time there was a lot of haziness and cloudiness around which path was right for you, but I think it's becoming more clear. And I think that there's perhaps an old memory that is being received or being retrieved from like your deep, deep subconscious that is kind of like a puzzle piece that's allowing you to become even more settled into your path and into the truth of how you're supposed to express yourself this lifetime, especially creatively. And I feel like the bigger picture is being formulated. That's what I feel like. The pieces are coming together. I don't know if things are necessarily complete, but they're just coming together. And I think you're taking your time, allowing them to come together. There's no rush here. It's just kind of information that's being shared with you. But I don't know if there's any rush, and I don't even think there's really anything to do. I think it's just things that you're able to know. We have the King of Cups here, King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, which are both cards that were coming out. Well, the King of Cups has been coming out a lot, and so has the Emperor. And the Three of Wands. Yeah, and the Knight of Pentacles, actually. Yeah, and the King of Wands. I just think that things are as they should be with your pile. And there's just like a lot of peace, satisfaction, flow. It feels like you're on the path, and that's great, and that's supported. The King of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I just kind of feel like you're on your path. I just feel like you're on your journey. You could also be marrying somebody else, but that's, I don't think it's not super important, but you could be marrying someone. But I also just think you're like really in control of your life right now, and you're entering into a phase of newfound independence that I think you're really going to enjoy, because I think you're more than ready, and I feel like you're ready to be a little bit more independent and kind of go out on your own and live the world through your own means, you know, kind of entering into adulthood. This could be like one of those just like growing up readings. King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, the High Priestess, the King of Wands. I haven't seen the Queen of Wands in a while. There's just a lot of faith coming through. A lot of faith and security and trust. And I think your eyes are opening up to the truth. I definitely think the veil is being lifted for this pile. And what is that going to lead to ultimately, though? I think escape. Okay, wow. I just feel like the torture that comes with like the unknown, especially when you're a teenager and you don't know where your life is heading and you're kind of powerless, but you're also like more grown up than you were when you were a child, so things are more complicated for you. I just see you beginning to move out of that energy. You could be someone who's a young adult, and I feel like you are going from being a young adult to like an adult. Like I feel like there's this move from that kind of energy of like, like I'm an adult, but I don't know what's happening with my life, and I'm so confused, and I'm so out of control, and I'm still not financially independent. I'm still dependent on my parents. I'm still blah blah blah. Now you're moving into an energy where like, oh no, like you're really an adult. You live on your own. You've got your own thing going on with money. You don't need to answer to anyone. You don't need help. You don't like nobody's calling in to check in and be like, are you okay? Like you don't have, nobody's worried about you, you know, and you're not worried about yourself because things are really coming together, and you're quite grounded, and you're beginning to build something that you can see the long-term future results. You know, it just feels like you're growing up. It just feels like you're growing up. And I think it might have felt like it took a long time to get there, but I just think you're growing up. I don't, what is this? That just feels so random. What are the, you could have people wanting to, come into your life now also, build something with you. The Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands. There could be energy of people wanting to burn your flames together, burn their flame against your flame. There's a lot of romantic energy here, just people wanting to, be in your energy as well. Okay, but what's the ultimate message for this pile? What's the ultimate message for this pile? I think it's just kind of to keep going. I think this reading is meant to be short and sweet because I think it's just meant to keep going. I think that for one, there's like a time for you to kind of pause just for a moment and recognize that you're heading into new territory, uncharted territory, but not in a way that's scary in the ways that it has been in the past, where there's always this instability and you never really know where things are going. In a very settled way, but in a very independent, grown up way. And I think it's exciting because you're out of the shaky territory of transition and of trying to get your wings and all of these things. And now I think you're heading onto solid ground, and ground that's your own. And I just think it's a bit of a congratulatory energy and an excited energy, and just and there's offers coming through, there's options that you have, but there's no pressure around any of it. I think it's just an acknowledgement that you're growing up, pretty much. And you're unlocking a deeper part of yourself, something that's more mature, something that's ready for more. And it's going to lead you to have more exciting ideas and be able to pursue more in your life. I think also dream a little bit bigger because you've just got more access. You've got access to more of yourself than you have ever had before. And in the real world, you've got access to some independence that can give you the movement that you need, the freedom that you need. And I just think that that's very exciting. And I think this is definitely something that has to do with career as well. And then you also just kind of have the romantic options there. But yeah. Okay. Anything else? I'll shuffle 5 more times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Fabulous. Okay. Thank you so much. Strength. Yeah, look at that. Justice. Everything is as it should be. Thank you so much, Strength. I'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed, and enjoy your new year. Seems like you're in a great place, so enjoy your new year. Goodbye.